Hey, Roberto, how are you?
Good. How about yourself, Bruno?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Awesome. So we already have Monica. Hi, Monica. Welcome. We have one iPhone. You guys can change your name, okay? If you go to the top, you can just change your name. And then it will be a lot easier for us to communicate directly with you guys. And we also have Romero. Welcome, guys. Thank you very much for joining us again. So before we start, we will give to a few students an extra 3 minutes, okay? So we will start our classes around 6 p.m., something like that, okay? So nearly 6:05, okay?
That's too much.
Too much. Okay, teacher. Tell us.
6:02.
6:02. Great. So we will give them a tolerance of 2 minutes.
That's it.
Good. Just to clarify, guys, all the lessons that we're given to you, they're free of charge, and we will also provide them on our YouTube channel, okay? So as soon as we finish this lessons from today, we will upload the lessons from yesterday and also the lesson for today, today's lesson, okay? And then you will see, you will be able to see the movie and the how can I say? You will be able to see the recorded lesson on our YouTube channel, all right? Thank you very much. So let's just wait another couple of minutes before we start. Welcome, Maria. Guys, I will send you the link, okay? Some people did not manage to download the materials for the lesson, okay? So I'm sending on the chat the link in which you can download all the materials from today and also from yesterday, okay? Hi, Gloria. How are you? Okay, so we have on board Gloria. Thanks for joining us. iPhone. I'm sorry, I don't know what's the name of that person. We have Monica. We also have Romero, Monique, Carol, Erica, Aline, Natalia, and Stephanie. Thanks for joining us, guys. Okay, we also have João, Pri Antunes, Roberto, and Rodrigo Cruz. Thank you very much, guys. So we will start right now. Roberto, feel free to start. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Hello, girls. First of all, I would like to say welcome to our second intermediate class. For the ones that were not here yesterday, my name is Roberto, and I have been doing this for a long time. Somebody's doing the homework right now, as I can see here. I don't know who that is, but anyway. Today, I will try to teach you what is considered to be something a little difficult. You're not listening to me. Somebody, Bruno, can you help this person?
Yes, Gloria. I think it's Gloria. What you need to do, you will see just on the bottom, you will see a tab, a black tab, okay? You will see iniciar vídeo and desative som. If you click on the arrow, a setinha para cima, você vai ter configuração de áudio. E ali você configura o áudio para fone de ouvido ou normal. Enfim, testa aí as opções. Tá? Guys, I will kindly ask all of you to please place your microphone under the mute. Okay? Awesome. Thank you.
Okay,
Roberto,
can I go?
Yep, carry on.
Gloria, listening to me now? Okay. Well, at any time you have any question,
I don't listen.
just go to the bottom here. There is a chat here, bubble, and where you can click and just ask me whatever you want to know. If you want me to slow down, if you want me to speed up, whatever, if you don't understand what I'm saying, just use the chat and Bruno will tell us what to do. Okay? Well, yesterday we talked about something which is very interesting, something that if you ask a native speaker of English, what is the difference between will and be going to, he or she might say,
Caralho,
I don't know.
consigo.
I think the person is
Gloria, Gloria.
serious problem.
I'm sending you. Can you mute? Pode mutar o seu fone, por favor? Eu vou falar com você no chat. Tá?
Okay.
Roberto, carry on.
So, as I was saying, yesterday we were discussing how to use
I don't listen.
Bruno is going to help you. Bruno, she's still in trouble.
Okay, Gloria, I'm sending you a message, private message on the chat, okay? Bear with us a minute. And then Roberto, carry on. I will help Gloria, okay?
Okay. Okay, guys, as I said, yesterday we were talking about the use of will and be going to, when we have to use one, when we have to use the other, okay? And I hope you really understood the difference, okay? Will is a natural thing that we use at the moment we make a decision. I don't know how to do this. Oh, I'll help you. And as I told you, they always use it in the contraction form. They never say, I will help you. They say, I'll help you, okay? All right. Well, I gave you some exercises, and today, if you download the material for today's class, it will have the answers to all the exercises I gave you yesterday, and also today's class. Today's class is a little more interesting, but a little more difficult than yesterday. So I hope you understand, and I hope you can follow me. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Give me a sec, and then we can continue. So what are we going to talk about today, which is important, and as I said, a little more difficult than what we talked about yesterday? We are going to talk about the use of conditional sentences. What are conditional sentences? Sentences that start with if. How many times, think about, I want everyone to think about, how many times have I asked you a question, or has anybody asked you a question and the answer depended on something, or depended on someone, or depended on the weather? And it was like, well, if, you see, when you start,
Roberto,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, 1 minute. Pessoal, peço que todos vocês, por favor, coloquem o microfone no mudo, tá? Parece uma bobeira isso, mas atrapalha o som ambiente, dá retorno no som, isso acaba dificultando um pouquinho o aprendizado dos outros alunos, tá? Então, peço que todos vocês, sem exceção, por favor, coloquem o microfone de todos vocês no mudo, tá? É na parte de baixo, para quem tiver no celular, vai ter um íconezinho ali que você muta, e se você tiver no computador, vai ter uma barra embaixo. É só você clicar ali no canto esquerdo, desative som, tá bom? Obrigado, gente. Roberto, I'm sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
Okay. So let's go back. As I said, many times when I ask you a question, your answer depends on something, or depends on someone, or depends even on the weather or the quarantine. I don't know. So that's what we are going to study today, how to reply questions starting with if. This really, it's simple, but it's just like mathematics or physics. There is a kind of a formula. If you memorize the formula, you will never make a mistake. So there are three types of conditional sentences. The first one is called future possible, which is here, future possible. The second one is called present contrary to fact, and we are also going to talk about the verb to wish. And the third one is called past contrary to fact. And again, we'll talk about wish. So let's go to the first part. You see? Okay, here. Many times when we are talking to a friend and ask him or her a simple question, his or her answer might depend on something. That's why it is important to learn and use correct the conditional sentences. There are three types. And the first one, which is the easiest one, is called future possible. What is the idea here? As the name says, you're talking about something that is possible to happen in the future. But of course, there is a condition. So if you ask me, do you have any plans for the weekend? Well, it depends. If I have money, I'll go to Campos do Jordão for the weekend. You see, if I, that's the subject here, if I need a verb in the simple present. If I have, if I like, if I need, if I want. This is the if clause. This construction is always formed in two parts, the if clause and the main clause. The main clause is the second. The order is not important. I can start in the main and then use the if, or start in the if and then I use the main. So if I have money, here, second part, I will go to Campos do Jordão this weekend. You see, there is an asterisk after will, can, may, or an imperative. What is the meaning of this? You decide if you want to say, I will, I can, or I may. The chances is the difference. When you say, I will, is that the chances of happening based on the if is like 100%. If you say, if I have money, I can go to campus, the chances are like 75%. On the other hand, if you say, well, if I have money, I may go to Campos do Jordão, the chances are like 50%. But the important thing is, do I have money now? No. But today is only Tuesday. Is it possible for me to get some money between today and the weekend? Yes. That's why I said, if I have money. But the reality is, at this moment, I don't have money. But there is a chance I'll get some. And if I get some, I'll go to campus. So I have here the three examples of, if I have money, I'll go to campus. I don't have, but there is a chance. If I have money, I can go to campus. At this moment, I don't have money, but there is a chance I'll get some. And in that case, going to campus is almost a sure thing, 75% of chance. If I have money, I may go to campus this weekend. I don't have the money, but it's possible to get it. And if I get it, going to campus is one of the possible options. This formula, okay, is also possible to be used with other words rather than if. I can use it with when, while, before, and after. But the structure must be exactly the same. Exactly the same. So if you say, when I get home, I'll call you. Before I leave, I'll check the doors. Okay, so it's the same construction on both sides. Oh, when I fall in love, the classical song, things will be forever. I'll call you as soon as I get there. Before you leave, will you lock the door? Okay. Any question concerning this kind of conditional sentence, please use the chat button to let me know if you understood or not. Come on, 2 minutes for you to think about. No questions?
Not yet.
Excellent. Excellent. So since you have no question, is it possible for me to get a few examples using this kind of conditional? Using will, can, or may? Come on, 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. Time is money. We are not going to read all the examples. Be quick. Be the first. Come on. If I, if you, if he, she, I don't care. Give me examples, please.
Guys, one thing that we did on the basic level was, if you guys do not feel comfortable of sharing to everyone, you can just change the type. Instead of sending to everyone on the chat, you can send it directly to me, okay? And I will read without mentioning your name, all right? If that will help, feel free to do that, okay? But it will be a lot more helpful and dynamic if you guys could interact and help us with some examples and so on, okay? Thank you.
Bear in mind that we are not here to humiliate anyone. We are here to together learn something. So please don't be shy. Just give me examples. Somebody here said,
yeah,
okay, if I have time, I'll cook dinner for you. Oh, okay. I wish this person were talking to me, okay, because I'm already hungry. Okay, that's a great example. If I have, verb in the simple present, I'll cook. Okay, the second person, the iPhone said, if we are not in quarantine, I'll go to Liverpool. Oh, okay. Here there is a little problem. The second part is perfect. The first part is perfect. But if we are not in quarantine, but we are, you see, so this is not a possibility. This is a hypothetical situation. This sentence would be better in the second case we are going to talk about. Okay, iPhone, when we go to the second case, I'll remember you and I'll tell you how to say this correctly. If I go to the gym every day, I'll get fit. Okay, Natalia, for sure you will. Great example. When the quarantine is over, I'll go to Canada. Aline, that's perfect. Okay, love it. Okay, you enjoy it. Any more? Or can we go? Can we go to the next part? If I study more, okay. If I study more, I get smarter. Yes, but it's necessary. I will get smarter. You need to use the verb here, and you need a comma. If I study more, comma, I'll get smarter. Or if you invert, I will get smarter if I study more. Then it's not necessary the comma. You only use the comma when you start with the if clause. If I have money, I'll visit Dubai next month. Great example. Great, great. I think you guys got the idea. Can I go to the second one? Second one is more difficult, okay? So bear with me, come on. Let's see the second one. Present, contrary to fact. As the name says, you're talking about two actions that are not real in the present or even future. We are talking about hypothetical situations, okay? That's why I told the iPhone, the quarantine is not a hypothetical, it's a real thing. So you said if we are, and that's the case. Here, what we do is we use if plus the subject plus any verb that you want in the simple past, but observe there is an asterisk here. And then you use the subject again. Now I use would, that's the past tense of will. I use could, that's the past tense of can. And I use might, that's the past tense of may, plus a verb in the base form. So what is the difference between this case and the first one? Look at the first example and maybe you get the idea. If I had money, I would go to campus this weekend. In the first case was, if I have money, I'll go to campus this weekend. At that case, I didn't have money, but there was a chance I could get some money. And in that case, I would go to campus. Right now is, if I had money, it means I don't have money. And there is no chance of getting any money. I'm at home. I'm also in a quarantine. I cannot go out. I cannot work. So I'm not going to get any money. So I would go to campus. This is not going to happen for sure. You see, at this moment, I don't have money. There is no chance I'll get any money. So going to campus is out of question. Why I have the asterisk here? Observe this. This is probably one of the biggest grammar exceptions that you will ever see in English. If the verb here in this first part, in the if part, is the verb to be, everybody knows that the past tense of I am is I was. You are, you were. He, she, it is. He, she, it was. But in this case, you have to remember that we only use were for all subjects. So you don't say if I was. You say if I were you, I would call him and talk to him about this. This, as I said, is a hypothetical situation. It's not a real situation. That's why I say, if I were you. For instance, you come up to me and say, oh, Roberto, I have a serious problem. I don't know if I get married or if I buy a bicycle. What do you think? I would probably say, if I were you, I would buy a bicycle for sure. Okay? Getting married right now is not easy. Okay? But that's my opinion. I'm not you, so you can do whatever you want. Like if it were sunny, second example here. If it were sunny and warm, we could go to the club. If it were sunny and warm, we could go to the club. But it's not sunny nor warm. So we are not going to the club. Understand this? This is really a great exception. There's a note here. I'm sure that you have already heard people saying, if I was, if he was, if it was. You heard this maybe in a song, or maybe you have heard this in a movie by American speakers, Canadian speakers, or English native speakers. Don't you think it is correct? It's just like many people say in Portuguese, é para mim fazer? We understand, but it doesn't mean it's correct. It's wrong. So even in songs, like classical songs, If I was in LA, if I was is if I were. But sometimes in song, especially in music, what they are interested is the sound of it, not really the grammar or what is correct or is not correct. So they don't care about it. They don't give shit about it, okay? So they just screw with the song by using the correct. So here is, if I were you, I would not go out at the moment. If you were there, you would know what to do. If he were here, he could help us. You see, were for all the subjects, okay? Any question about this? Please let me know if you understood what I'm trying to say. Any question about this? No questions from Muni. Okay, excellent. Can we go on? Okay. Okay. Yes. What? Yes for, well, I'm sorry, I got confused. We got a no sure, not sure.
No, don't worry.
Questions or no questions? Can I
No
just
questions
go on?
at all. The person just said that no questions.
Sure.
And sure, keep up.
Okay.
Chop.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys have ever heard or have ever used the verb wish. Wish is a very interesting verb that is used to express a strong desire that you have. If you don't understand wish, just remember the movie Aladdin that found a magic lamp. And when he rubbed the lamp, the genie came out and granted him 3 wishes. That's the idea. When you use wish, you have a very special construction. You say, like subject, I wish. Then you need to repeat the subject again. I wish I. And then you use here a verb in the simple past, even if the idea is present or future. I'm sorry, it's wrong here. It's present or future, not of future. Okay, I'm sorry. I can correct that later. So, if I wish I were there, the same exception I have with the if, I have with wish. I wish I were there, but I'm not. He wishes he had more time to relax. She wishes she were rich to buy that car. Every time you say this, is because the person doesn't have the money, the person doesn't have time to relax, as in the second example. And in my case, I'm not there, I'm here, okay? So in spite of using the past, the idea is always present or future. So I can say, I wish you understood my point, okay? All right, can I go on?
Tô ouvindo a aula de inglês.
Ah, tá. Conseguiu?
Pri.
Aula de inglês, eu falei com eles mandaram o link.
Você não vai ter?
Não, tá bom
Pri.
aqui.
Can you place, Priscilla, can you place your microphone on the mute, please? Thank you.
Okay. Now, let's go to probably one of the most complex construction in English. It involves the use of 5 verbs in the same sentence. It's the past contrary to fact. What is past contrary to fact? As the name says, you're talking about 2 actions that were not real in the past. I'm sorry. We are working round the clock. Can you just forget about this? Here, there is a problem. Here, forget about this. It's not present. It's in the past. Okay, I'll make some corrections and I'll send you the correct one. So it talks about 2 hypothetical actions in the past. This kind of construction is often used to express regrets for doing or not doing something. Does everybody understand what is a regret? A regret is something that makes you feel bad. You know, like sometimes you go out, you drink, and then what happens? okay? The next day, you cannot even get up. Regret, okay, is when you feel bad for something you did or did not. Usually after getting up, you have a terrible hangover because of all the drinks you had last night, and then you say, oh, I wish I hadn't eaten that pastel. The problem was the pastel, was not the alcohol, okay? But that's the idea of regret. This past contrary to fact is quite often used to express regrets, okay? So the construction here, if you observe, is quite big. Oh, we have here if plus the subject plus had plus another verb in the past participle. Then we have a subject, then we have a could, would, or might, plus have, plus another verb also in the past participle. So it would be a dream to see any American native speaker or any English native speaker saying, if I had money, I would have gone to campus this weekend. Nobody talks like that. They contract everything here. They say, if I'd had, they contract had with I. If I'd had money, I would have gone. They contract I'd with have, I'd gone to campus. So many times in a normal conversation, what you listen is something like this. If I'd had money, I'd gone to campus last weekend. Here is also last weekend and not this weekend. Okay, so here, I'm sorry. Okay, I had just a few hours to do everything. I didn't have money, so I did not go to campus last weekend. Okay, last weekend. If I had not bought the house, I would have lost a great investment opportunity. So what you have to understand is when you say something in the past contrary to fact, in affirmative, it's because the idea is positive. And if you say it in the negative, in the positive, affirmative, the idea is negative. It's always the opposite. Like if I had money, it means you didn't have money. If I hadn't bought, it means you bought. So affirmative means negative, negative means affirmative. Confusing or no? Look here, the other example, please. Is there any question? Bruno?
Yes. One person said yes, kind of confusing.
Okay. So let me try to explain that again. This, as I said, is probably the most complex construction that you have in English because you use 5 verbs in the same sentence, like had plus the past participle. Then here you have would, could, or might plus have plus another verb in the past participle. And the idea is, if you say, if I had done something, had done in the affirmative, it's because you didn't do it. And if you say, if I hadn't done in the negative, it's because you did. So what you say is the opposite of the reality, okay? They love this kind of construction in proficiency tests like TOEFL or IELTS because what you listen is totally different of what you have to answer. If you listen in the negative, usually you look for a negative answer, but the answer is going to be affirmative, okay? So both examples that you have here, like if I had money, I would have gone to campus last weekend. not this weekend, okay? It's wrong, last weekend. So what's the idea? I didn't have money, so I didn't go to campus. Oh, here's last weekend, okay? If I had money, I would have gone to campus last weekend. I didn't have money, so I didn't go last weekend. I wanna go down here, but my screen is not going down. Okay, got it. Oh, another very important thing is, it is possible to omit if in this kind of sentence. But in this case, you must invert the position between the verb and the subject, okay? Wow, I'm doing a lot of bad things here. Like, if I had heard my mother, I wouldn't have had the accident last night. This is the original sentence. If I had heard my mother, I wouldn't have had the accident last night. I didn't listen to my mother, I drank too much, and I ended up having an accident. I can omit the use of if here, saying, had I heard my mother, I wouldn't have had the accident last night. This is another top thing to be learned and used in any proficiency test. They love this. They omit the if, so you don't know, you don't imagine it is a conditional. Then you don't understand why you have all the verbs here, but it is a conditional sentence, okay? And last but not least, we also use the verb to wish with the same idea here. Okay, let me try to erase all this. Okay, good. Oh, wish is also used with the subject plus wish. Then we have had plus a verb in the past participle when we want to say that the idea was past. This is another great construction that you should use to express regrets. Every time you feel bad for doing or not doing something, like, I wish I hadn't drunk so much last night, but I drank like a skunk and I feel very bad today. He wishes he had stayed home. He didn't stay home. He went out, he got infected, and now he's in hospital. She wishes she had married her first boyfriend, but she didn't. She ended up marrying another boyfriend, and now she's not very happy. So I wish I had studied harder for the test. I wish I had understood yesterday's class better. So all these examples were not real in the past. If you say, again, if you say it in the affirmative, the idea is negative. And if you say it in the negative, the idea is affirmative. Always the opposite of what you say. Okay, I'm going to have a break here for 1 minute to see if you have any question. Please let me know if you have any question. Just write in the chat there if you have any question concerning these. This is probably the most difficult part of today's class. Bruno, any question or can we go?
No, we don't have questions yet, Roberto.
Excellent. So if you don't have any questions, let me ask you some questions then. And I want to see your answers in the chat box, okay? So let's suppose that if you were not Remember the iPhone? If you were not in a quarantine, what would you do tonight? Please try to answer giving me the complete sentence. If I were not in the quarantine, I da 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 da. If you were not under the quarantine, what would you do tonight? Please give me some answers. Come on. We don't have much time. Think fast. Answers, please. Did you understand my question? Everybody's so quiet. What's happening? Nobody knows or didn't understand? Come on, Susie, Pri, Maria da Gloria. What do you say? No answers, Bruno.
No answers at all.
Well, did you understand my
now
question?
Now we have one.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing, Natalia. If I were not in quarantine, I would have had a meeting.
I would. Can you say that slower?
Yes. If I were not in the quarantine, I would have had a meeting.
Okay. It is not necessary to use I would have had. Simply, I would have. Because you are mixing the second case with the third case. You see? It's like, if I were not, that's the second case. Present, contrary to fact. But you are. So in the second part, you say, I would have a meeting. Okay? Thanks for sharing. Any more examples?
We have one more. And before you go through this example, we have two customers, two students that said that they didn't understand. If you can repeat the whole idea and also rephrase the question.
Okay. Okay. The idea is I'm going to ask you questions that request you to answer using one of the conditionals that we have talked about here. For example, everyone, practically everyone, not everyone is respecting, but most people are, due to the coronavirus, under a quarantine. You're supposed to stay home or limit your activities. My question was, if you were not under the quarantine, what would you do today? That's my question. And I want you to give me a complete answer saying, if I were not under the quarantine, I would blah, 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 blah. If you want, I can change the question. Like, if you had a lot of money, what would you buy? If you were a millionaire, what would you buy? Come on, answers.
We have one here, which is, if I were not in quarantine, I would go to the restaurant.
Perfect. That's a perfect example. I would go, but the restaurants are closed. Okay, excellent. Any other?
We have another one, which is, I would travel abroad.
I would travel.
Traveled.
No, I would travel.
I
no
would
past.
travel. Okay.
Yes.
In here, it's in the past. Okay, got it.
Okay, so if I had money, I would travel abroad. Okay. If you were a millionaire, what would you buy?
Good. We already have one example. They have asked for you to repeat, please. And then we have two examples here.
If you were a millionaire, maybe you are, but it's okay. Let's keep it hypothetically. If you were a millionaire, what would you buy?
So we have one answer here, which is, if I were a millionaire, I would buy a Ferrari. Great example.
Yes, and a great car. Yes.
Exactly. We have another one. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a house.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. I would buy a house. Now, if
We have one last example.
one more question. If
Okay.
it is hot and sunny tomorrow, what will you do? That requires the first case. If it is hot and sunny tomorrow, what would you do?
Just taking the last example, we still have 3 answers before we go on the new
Any
ones.
answer?
Okay, so we have, if I were not under quarantine, I would go to some pub. Can you hear me?
Nobody knows what to do? You're free to go.
Guys, can you hear me? Hello? Roberto, can you hear me? We have some examples here. Maybe Roberto is not hearing us. Guys, before, yep, exactly. I think he got a bad internet connection. Guys, I would kindly request to you guys that you please reply to our survey, okay? It's an NPS, which is a net promoted score. It will take a maximum of 30 seconds for you guys to reply it, and it really helps us a lot. So if you could just please spare us a few seconds to reply to that question, to that feedback that I'm sending to you guys on the chat box, it will help us a lot. That way we can analyze all the answers, analyze all the score that you guys gave us, and prepare a better lesson and even keep evolving, okay? So it will be extremely helpful if you could reply to that questionnaire I'm sending to you guys right now. It won't take more than 30 seconds, I promise, and it will help us a lot, okay? Thank you. Also, as I mentioned to you guys on the beginning, we will put all those videos on our YouTube channel, okay? So you will have access to all the lessons, everything. You will be able to refill it, okay? And for today's exercise, we will send you guys the answers tomorrow, all right? Awesome. If you have replied, that's perfect. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So guys, tell me briefly, are you guys enjoying this? How is everything? Do you guys think this lessons that we're doing, are they helpful? Helping you guys on any way to go through this quarantine process? Awesome. I'm really excited to hear that. Thank you. Good, good. Awesome. Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Really, we put a lot of effort to come up with these solutions for you guys on a very short period, okay? And we're working behind the clock and trying to deliver you guys an extremely relevant content, very dynamic and super simple to be absorbed, okay? Well, Roberto just sent me a message right now. Apparently he got an issue with his internet connection. I apologize for the inconvenience. But anyway, guys, the class is over. I really, really appreciate everyone joining us today. Thank you very much for all your time, all your effort. Thank you for every single person that interacted with us. It was a great pleasure to having you on board. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Cheers, guys. And please don't forget to reply to our NPS survey, okay? Thank you. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Oh, there you go. I think Roberto managed to come back. Roberto, your microphone's not working.
To solve that. Is it working now?
It is now. Good.
I'm sorry, everyone. I was just asking you some questions and I couldn't hear anything. That means the internet went down. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, and it's very unstable. So if I disappear again, it's because of the internet connection. Okay, so
Roberto, don't worry.
yes.
I have already wrapped it up. I told them that they can see all the examples and everything on the material that we have sent. We just need to speed up and say goodbye so we can start our new class at 7 p.m. right now. Okay, I have just sent them the link for the survey as well. So we are good. There you go. I think Roberto went out again. Guys, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you on board. Thank you. Have a great evening. Okay? Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.